I don't know about the New York Jets this year. I got them winning 10 games and going to the playoffs, but I don't really feel too confident about it, man. You got the weird situation going on with Hassan Reddick. Nathaniel Hackett pretty much just a doofus as an offensive coordinator. The only reason that the Jets are going to be a playoff team this year is because of Aaron Rodgers. And New York is one of those teams that either you think they're going to be an absolute clown show this year, or you actually believe that they're good enough to get to the postseason because Aaron Rodgers is still the bad man that we saw all those years playing for the Green Bay Packers. I'll take the second option. I still believe in Aaron Rodgers, even though he is driving me a little bit insane with what he's been doing throughout the offseason. You know, missing out on mandatory minicamp to go do ayahuasca definitely rubbed me the wrong way. But this is Aaron Rodgers, people. I get that there are some concerns about how good is he coming off a major injury. Plus, he had a down season prior to that injury taking place last year. He still has a lot to prove, but he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play this game. And anytime you have a Hall of Fame caliber player, they tend to always bounce back anytime you count them out. Remember, Phillip Rivers, when he went to the Indianapolis Colts, people didn't think he was going to be that good, and he led them to the playoffs that year. Aaron Rodgers still has a little bit of juice left in the tank where the Jets can be a postseason team this year. Are they going to do anything else once they get to the playoffs? I don't really see them winning more than maybe a playoff game. Maybe they get to the divisional round, they put up a fight, but at best, this is going to be a wild card team. Okay, they do have a really good roster. They're going to have elite defense. We know that Robert Saleh, for as many questions that we have about him being a good coach, we at least know that his defenses have always been amongst the best in the league, and that shouldn't change this year. Offensively, you improved the offensive line. You added Mike Williams at wide receiver. You also have Malachi Corley, who you drafted out of Western Kentucky, who many draft analysts loved. So there is a lot of talent on this unit, including Bryce Hall, who people see as a top 5, top 8 back in the league right now. When Breece Hall, I have him on a lot of my fantasy squads. Garrett Wilson, we know that he's a stud as well. There's enough talent in place for the Jets to make it to the playoffs. Their schedule isn't that difficult, in my opinion. Yes, they do have a tough opener against the 49ers, and for the first 4 games, things are going to be a little bit rocky, but I think overall, their schedule is pretty favorable, and they're playing in a division where you get to play the Miami Dolphins twice. I definitely believe that you can split that, and you have to play the Buffalo Bills. You can win a game against Buffalo, and you should sweep the floor with New England this year. I have some concerns about the New York Jets, but I still have faith that Aaron Rodgers is still going to be playing at a top 10 level. And think about all the games that they lost last year, right? When they lost to Kansas City, they would have won that game if they had Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson played the best game of his career, and they lost that game because despite how well he played, he gave the ball away in the fourth quarter, which ultimately led to Kansas City getting that W. Same thing against the New England Patriots the first time they played and they lost to them. They would have won that game if they had Aaron Rodgers. And they definitely would have beaten the Las Vegas Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons if Aaron Rodgers was healthy and he suited up for those games as well. They would have been an 11-win team with Aaron Rodgers fully healthy in 2023. This year, I still see that being the case. It's hard for me to count out Aaron Rodgers considering his greatness, how good he's been for the majority of his career, and I just see his career ending on a high note. Probably not with a Super Bowl, but at least with him being able to lead the Jets to the postseason and giving Jets fans a season that they can be happy about, because they haven't been to the playoffs ever since the early days of the 2010s when they had Rex Ryan as their head coach. So I still have faith in Aaron Rodgers. I'm really hesitant to put a lot of faith in this team, but it's just, I don't know, man. I just can't count out Aaron Rodgers. I just can't. I don't care about the Achilles injury. I don't care about the age. This is Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've seen. Am I a little bit biased because he is a big part of my childhood? Yes, I am. But if there's any quarterback that I'm going to give the benefit of a doubt to, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I get that he's been going a little bit off the wall in the offseason, but he's always kind of been a little bit weird. But that's Aaron Rodgers, people. That's why we all love him. I'm not going to count out Aaron Rodgers. The Jets got a lot of dysfunction going on. Robert Saleh and their owner were getting into it. I don't really care about all that. They got Aaron Rodgers. I believe in him. The rest of the team has a lot of faith in him. And as long as he can stay healthy, this is going to be a playoff team.